Well, hello. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of surface grinding on the Herbert Junior Mark II. I'm going to be truing up the surface of this BMC Mini. When I say BMC, of course I mean British Leyland, or do I mean Rover Mini car centre main bearing cap. Because a friend, Paul, hill climbs minis, and he's just rebuilding his engine, and he's found that this top strap that goes on there is not quite sitting flat. So we're going to be regrinding this to make it flat. I'll show you how I set it up. Now, I'm no expert in surface grinding, so as you've got your fingers over the keyboard, give me advice, yes. But bear in mind, I'm not showing you, I'm not teaching, I'm just having a go, okay? Now, Tom from Hilltop Machine Works sent me a letter with a lot of useful information for me. And I've had a look at it, Tom, thank you very much, about different coloured stones, different coloured grits, using water, not water, all of that. I know it's there. I need to do more work to understand it all properly. So I'm just going to have a go, okay? Just keep those fingers off the keyboard unless it's supportive. I've connected up the shop vac to this vacuum cleaner nozzle, which I mounted on here in a video some time ago, and this tray at the back here to try and keep the dust down. Now, people said the sparks from here will melt all this. I don't know if it will. We're going to find out, aren't we? My bet is it won't, not for the little bit that I use it, but we shall see. So I'm going to true up the wheel first, because that's going to create quite a bit of dust. I'd like to try and capture that. Then I can clean this off. Then I'll put a stone over it. We don't have to be accurate to tenths of a thou. We're just trying to get it flat because it has a hump in it, which I'll show you in a minute, that strap. But we'll do this first, clean it up. I'll put a stone over it and we'll start from there. We're just touching, I think. I can see the dust coming off it. Do you see it just there? No, I'm doing this carefully just because I don't have the experience, to be honest. I've only done about 3 jobs on this. Right, we'll stop that there. Oh, it has stopped. It's the vacuum. Apologies. See what I mean? I thought the grinder was still running, but it's the vacuum making all the noise. All right, we'll bring this out and have a look at this edge here. It's difficult to get the camera right over there, but you can see it's not cleaned it completely, has it? So I'll just add a bit and do it again. I'll just add, what do you think, a thou? That's another thou. Right, vacuum, grinder. You can't even hear the machine running hardly, can you? Compare that to the Clarkson tool and cutter grinding. Now, it's still not quite right. I'll take a bit more off and we'll come back. Well, in fact, 1 thou was enough to clean that up. Try and get most of that rubbish off. Right, I've got a stone which is not particularly flat, but it should take any high spots off. I could do with a new stone, really. I'm just reseating this table because as I clocked across it on the other side, there was half a thou across it, but there's a bit of rust here. Now I can't resurface this table on that grinder because the stroke is only 8 inches, sort of between there and there. So I'm just going to make sure that there's no high spots. I mean, it's debatable how accurate we need to be for this job, because I'm not going to be grinding this way. I'm planning to grind this way on that axis. Oh. I'm probably doing lots of things wrong here, but there's a bit of a lump there. But like I say, I'm just in the learning stage. It's a bit beaten up here. Well, reseating the table has helped us a bit. This is a metric gauge, so every division is 1/100th of a millimetre or 0.4 of a thou. And I think that is half a division, which is 0.2 of a thou, which I think is perfectly good enough for this. There is a bit of wear on this table anyway. It's a little bit sort of bowed, bananaed, but it's not so bad once you get the vise on it. Now going across the table, y-axis, it's looking pretty good. Now give me a chance to settle it because the surface is a little bit pitted. So 0, we go halfway, 0, and go as far as we can, which is not quite to the end, 0. So this way is perfectly fine. So I'm planning to put the work on like that, and we'll go across it that way. For that and other reasons too, which I'll explain. I'll show you the bow on this bearing cap in a moment, but I want to try and grind it this way if I can, because it's a short stroke and that'll give me the least heat, which means the least distortion. I've actually got a spray coolant nozzle somewhere on that table over there. I've had it for about 2 years. I still haven't got round to rigging it up. So we're going to be working dry. So that gives me quite a short stroke, and that's good. But the problem is I can't quite get off this edge at this end. I don't have enough travel. Now, do you think that'll be okay? I can stop there. As long as the stone is true, it'll be okay. But if it's worn the edge of the stone, I'll have a little rise at this end. I just need to see how I get on and how I feel about it. If you were with me now, you could tell me. But you're not, are you? So, anyway, to demonstrate the hump on this, I need to take it off because it's just easier to clock this way. And I'll show you. So somebody has milled across the top of this because I can see end mill marks. And what Paul is finding is when he clamps the top strap on, and the top strap is to strengthen the engine because this engine will put out about 180 horsepower. If you want that in metric, look it up because I haven't done that. And it's just humped in the middle. So when he's clamping on that top strap, excuse me, there, he's finding that it's closing up the bearing space, probably by about half a thou, something like that. And he doesn't want this centre main quite so tight. It's only a 3 bearing crank, by the way. So we're on 0. See how it's come up? Probably 0.4 of a thou, something like that. 1/100th. So it's definitely humped. Oh, sorry, I was going off the edge there. It's definitely humped, look. Yeah. So we'll dress this up. Now, what's it like on the other side? Hold on. Yeah, the side nearest this edge is quite a bit worse. So we're on 0. Now we're up, 2/100ths, so that's, 0.8 of a thou or something. And then we're right down again. So at this side, this edge, there's quite a hump. So we'll touch off on the high point. Okay. So without any more cuts, Now I've probably got a bit more cut on than I realised, because I was only going to take the middle out. But as they say, I've started so I'll finish. I'm never sure how fast to move the table. As I get more confidence, I suppose, I'll move it a bit faster. Seems to be coping with it without any trouble. It's still missing this left edge, so we will have to take a bit more. It's a bit difficult to reach around the camera here. And to stretch my arms out. It's only just catching this edge. It's no more than a tickle, and I think that'll be it. Right, let's have a look at that. Oh yeah. Well, it was nowhere near flat, was it? It's not touched there. It's not touched along this edge here. And it's only come to about there. So this side is ground, this side is not. So we'll give it another half thou. See if we can clean it up with that. Now we're getting all the way to the edge. For the time being anyway. We'll just see if we can clean up this end. Seems to be the worst bit, doesn't it? I would normally trim this video so you just see the finish, but I think we'll keep the video rolling whilst I come to the end here. So I don't know what it will have taken off this edge of the stone. We'll have to clock it and see if there is a rise just here. Just from stoneware on this leading edge. My instinct says there won't be. But if that's cleaned up, we'll clock it. I think it's good enough. It's just, there's a little bit there. Maybe I should just take a fraction more off. Just on that very edge there. I went over again and took another quarter thou off, but it's untouched just on that corner, but I don't think it's worth the trouble of taking loads off here just to get that corner out. There's plenty of width here, look, between that hole and this edge. It's fine. So we'll just measure it up. And that'll be done if it's okay. We'll go back to this way for the measure, as long as it's clean. I could do with a better gauge than this really. But anyway, we're on 0 there, allowing for a bit of wobble and wiggle. We're about on 0 there. So I think that's okay. Now stay on, because I have a story to tell you. I've been waiting about a week to do this job, but always something pops up and gets in the way, so I'm sorry, Paul, you've had to wait a bit. Anyway, if I put that on there, give it a rub. I can see markings across it. I think this is fine, and I think it's finished. So they only talk up to 40 foot-pounds, I think he told me. Well, working on this job has reminded me of when I had Minis. So when I was probably 19 I would say, I had a Mini Cooper 998. That was a 1964. And then I had a Cooper S F registered. So is that 68, something like that. So it was a 1275 Cooper S, but by the time I got it, the engine was blown and gone. But all the rolling parts were genuine Cooper S, and it had a 1275 GT engine. And like a lot of the Minis, it was dogged up absolutely everywhere. It was a friend of my dad's. I was a bit suspicious. It was £300 at the time. My dad said, oh, he's a great guy. He won't let you down. And it was absolutely full of doggy everywhere, you know, filler. So I took it for an MOT after about a year. Ministry of Transport test, that's the government road test. And they said, yeah, it's okay, but just bring it back when you've got a new body. So I have some pictures. I'm going to use them as a prompt, but I'll put them up. When I do the edit, I'll put these pictures up on the screen. But the first picture is a couple of friends of mine getting the new body. So there was Dave and there was Toby, and I was living in Malvern in Worcestershire at the time. I was a student getting my work experience, and we went off to a place called Padiham in Cheshire. I don't know how we found this body, but it was a body that was coming off a kind of track car racer rally type car. And anyway, so the three of us, me, Toby and Dave. So I have not seen these people for 50 years, is it? I haven't worked it out. It's a long time. I've no clue what's happened to them since. But there we are, a couple of pictures of us getting the body and taking it back. I can't remember how many miles, 60 miles, 50 miles, or whatever it was. And we lifted the body onto the back of the flatbed. So there was the three of us, plus a big guy whose shop it was. And it went on the back of the flatbed. Now, at the time, my boss said, yeah, well, you can change the body at my house. And he's got 4 kids. He's got a modern house with a double garage. And I take this kind of wreck in there to swap all the parts over. And his wife was horrified. But anyway, and I remember saying to him, the subframes used to go on the back of the Minis quite a lot, and I got a new subframe and I wanted to spray it with primer before I fitted it. And I said to him, is it okay if I spray it on your lawn? And he went, no, no, it's not. Anyway, so these are the pictures that I'll flash up on the screen around now. These are pictures of probably about a year later, 1981, I think. And so I never worried about what things look like. I'm always more interested in function than I am in appearance. So I got a 1275 engine, GT engine, and I put in a road rally cam, lightened the flywheel and crankshaft, tough rided it to toughen the surface of the material. What else did I do? Oh yeah, supported head, long centre branch manifold and all that. And maybe it was about 100 horsepower, 110 maybe. The standard 1275 Cooper S was 82 horsepower. So, but it wasn't that quick. I mean, it would do, not that I ever did this of course, but I heard that it would do over 100. Somebody said, not me obviously. And yeah, so here's some pictures of me and my then girlfriend, who is my wife, still my wife, cleaning the car, which is a joke because it was such a mess, and doing a service outside of my future father-in-law's. Yeah, so those were fun days. We kept the car for 6 years, used it as our only and everyday car for 6 years. But when baby number 3 came along, we'd got one in a car seat, one in a sort of box on the back seat, and then if a third had come, you know, that was going to have to go in the boot. And at which point even I said, nah, we can't do this anymore. So we had to sell it after the 6 years. And I remember I got £400 for it. So yeah, it's about $1.35 US to the pound. So that was quite good. I thought the guy who bought it was very generous, actually. After I paid £300 for it some 6 years earlier. Anyway, that's the end of the story. We all do silly things in our youth, don't we? Thanks for watching.